We're jamming out on the Vision Train Global Art Jam. This call has been going for over 6 years, believe it or not. There's times when it goes dark, but then somebody comes along and warms up the tracks, puts on some tunes, lets other folks know something's happening, and this is where the mycelial web connects us into this co-creative place that is an experimental station. One of the ground rules here, and I think you all can attest to this, is kindness. This is a place that I hope people feel safe in, and that we can also provide safety for each other. And that can mean all kinds of things, but it's really looking out for your crew members. And it's a place to explore our creativity, a place to explore what wants to come through us in this time of global change. And this is originally when I started this call on March 24th, 2020, that was the intention. Knowing that a creative community that is worldwide, which I have been tapped into through visionary art, there's no specific style, right? But there's a common thread, and that common thread is interested, I think, in what connects us, the interconnectivity of all things of life, and this great remembering that we're going through. And we're all finding different ways. We're all contributing different things, right? We all have different strokes, different ways of telling the story. So how are you telling the story? What angle are you seeing it from? You're not alone. We are connected. And we need to be reminded of this. And an artwork can help us remember, right? Looking at an artwork, having a conversation, listening to a song, going into nature. What are the ways that we remember? So that's what the Vision Train Global Art Jam has been about, is about remembering and developing collective frameworks, systems to provide training ground, right, for this. And it's an honor. I'm thinking of all the people that have come and supported this along the way. Many of them weave in and out of this journey, as do you. So if you're new here, welcome. And I am so grateful to the crew, the current crew that's here on board. I want to really put a shout out to Ali Van Zyl, who is here with me, and I'm gonna just spotlight a couple crew members as we get going here. Ali's, working on the crochet, a true weaver. This is a true weaver of the field, and our director of coherence in the current Vision Train framework that we have here on the back end. And she's looking out for us. This one's really looking out for our collective well-being, and I'm so grateful. And I'd spotlight Marina right now, but Marina might be in the engine room busy, and I'll spotlight, let's see, Nina right here, who's also on the move. But I just want to give her a shout out because she's also very invested in our collective well-being, and also raising a family, taking care of elders, and believes so much in this vision of this collective unfolding. And I know that this is really, what it's about. I mean, and we got to ebb and flow with what our capacities are, where we're at in the world, when we're able to show up. It's an ebb and flow. And, so many of the conductors that are here too, I just want to give you a shout out. In Kyra Joy, I'm going to bring you up here. Kyra is so supportive, and showing up in a way that is you developing your voice And this is the what I see in you recently, and also what I see. It's like if we're not creating environments that are win, 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 like for everyone down the line, then what are we doing? And so like we got to look out for also the care for each other. If we're going maybe invested too much in one direction, like guys, we get online to get offline, to get into our local communities, to build networks and jams, bring people together, art jams, music jams, right? It's not a new thing, right? But Kyra's been out there in the world doing murals. You were in Peru and all over the place. And at the same time, finding value in this collective station of our space station, Vision Train Station, right? And yeah, just a couple more shout outs. I'm going to bring Celine up here. Celine has also been one of our newer conductors who's been hosting this incredible series of new moon workshops and sacred geometry, focusing on sacred geometry, and such a blessing. I really appreciate your presence and your contributions, and I know we've got all these new items going into the shop currently, and they're not available quite yet because we're doing our due diligence and proofing everything. But Celine's contributed, Kyra's contributed to the shop, and we're weaving. What are we weaving? That's the kind of question we're going to get into. We're going to dive into a little bit deeper. I also want to bring up Amanda Satya, who's in Sweden. Shout out to our friends in Sweden. I mean, so special. We've spent countless hours of jamming here on the space station, which is literally, thank you, Zoom. Hey, Zoom, this might be an appropriate time to also reach out after 6+ years and ask for your endorsement. Like there's an art jam of humans all over the world, creative humans that are, have created community that is so valuable. And Scott here in Scotland, Scott holding it down. I mean, we've been on some adventures together, right? Where's this train taking us?
To the center of ourselves, to the edge of the universe, the known universe.
Yes, that sounds just about right. The edge of the known universe. And I'm just going to bring one more up here. Let's see, Jeffrey and Saki, man, you two look like you're in a boardroom. And that's exciting, but I see Vision Train stickers on the computer. And wow, look at all the diverse environments that we're in. And we're, all over the world coming together. We're gathering momentum. Allie, do you have a few words you want to say as I bring up I start to share our webpage?
It feels so good to be in this moment. Like, yeah, usually something like this sort of warrants an opening circle. So I'm counting this as that. It's just felt so amazing to listen to the sense of, like I said in the newsletter this week, like this real felt sense of solidarity among these artists that has like developed so organically and naturally, but over a long time, guys. We've been really at this. We've been together for a long time. And then when people come in new, like Celine and Amanda, like relatively recently, and it's like you've been here all along. And we all keep saying that over and over again every time that we arrive. So it's just so good to be here with you all and to be in this this energy of expansion. And I'm just like really excited to, show you everything that we've created and all the ways that you guys can participate, because your creativity is really going to be the fuel for what we've created here.
Yeah. And I just also want to remember the thousands and thousands of other crew members, that are weaving out in the world and chewing, wherever they're at, linking in, linking out. And this is the thing, like the train has been this vessel. It's a container. It's a vessel to put what we want into. And there is a shared sense that we're going in a similar direction, right? And what is that world? What is that future? Like, what is it that drives you, right? That drives your passion? What does it look like? And I see that that's really the call to action that I want to put out there even more clear to the community. Describe it, draw it out, write it out. Show us what you see, what you feel, because we need a shared vision of the future, right? And we can all share a different angle of what that could look like. So I'm curious, I know we've been in training all along, but we're just getting going. The story's just getting going. And in this opening circle, is there anybody else here that I've spotlighted that wants to share a few words before we jump in to sharing? I just want to give you the opportunity. I know I put you on the spot.
So I just hop in and share my gratitude for everybody. And I feel like a broken record, but I certainly love getting the opportunity to meet you all in person and feeling even more connected. And like Allie was saying, we've known each other all along, and that it's validated when we get to hug each other and be together. And I'm grateful for all of you. Choo choo.
Anyone else feel like sharing a few words? No pressure. We'll jump in later too. So I'll share my screen, and so we have this this cool website, and that Marina Zion Rebels has built, and this is visiontrain.org, and we'll jump into the fundraiser gathering momentum, but I just want to give you a little sense of this project, and you can explore on your own and go deeper and deeper into all the projects that we have been supporting over the years, and developing so many tandem tracks too, so many tandem projects, which is something we're really excited to dive deeper into. But right now, let's jump into this page, Gathering Momentum. So Gathering Momentum is a six-week community participation initiative and fund drive. So we are making this an experience, really. Allie has been the one crafting this kind of journey for us. And we are going to raise 333,000. No, we're raising 33,333 US dollars is the aim. So please support in the ways that you can. We are open to so many different ways of how that support can come in, and you'll find many ways that we are suggesting that can happen. And participation creates momentum. What becomes possible when creativity, relationships, and resources are intentionally gathered in service of something we believe in. So where are we going? What is this that we can connect our train cars and build momentum for, which has already been happening. We have a proven track record of awesomeness and shared, platforms of support. We are, raising these funds to do a lot of things. And this is a little breakdown of some of the percentages based on this 33,000, and looking at also not just, well, this is specifically to this. I mean, we also want people to know that we do have income coming in through memberships, and we are developing workshops, which has just really started through some of the workshop spaces that I've been creating, and we're excited to keep developing that, knowing that is a really valuable resource for teachers and for those that want to study, as well as providing free and open space for folks to join into. And it was amazing what Light Up the Tracks was our first big fundraiser that happened last November and December. So everybody that contributed to that was like over 130 people, I think, contributed to that campaign. And so it's like no bit is too little, like $3, $5, and also just sharing with others that you think would be interested in supporting this, knowing that this is out there, that this resource is here for the community. And so, I want to maybe ask Allie, do you want to share a little bit about the birth of Critical Mass and how Critical Mass came out of the anniversary, the Vision Train anniversary, and I think we had 150 or so artists online, but I think over maybe 400 that were coming on and off throughout the whole time of Critical Mass. And it was really special. And with a live set from Gold Cap, or he made it especially for us that we live streamed. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was such a wild week. So for Connection Week alone, I mean, we did 8 24-hour days of programming that we invited people in for free. And we just really rocked out the connection. And I mean, we were so rewarded. And this idea came to you, right? Where you just had this wild idea one day that you're like, what if we got 333 artists on the train at the same time? And then, how things evolve. It's just like the same thing with the painting. Things start to, disclose themselves, so to speak. And it was like, so it came to be Critical Mass. And yeah, like you said, it wasn't just that there was like 150 people on there, which was wild. I mean, that was when we expanded the Zoom capacity because we just we knew it was going to break records for us, and it did. And like you said, throughout that day and throughout that week, I mean, we have the numbers. It was insane how many people came in through that space and made their energy like part of that weaving. And yeah, then just from there, well, not only that, you mentioned Gold Cap, but we had 3 DJs that same night. Like it was like a 10-hour jam. It was like crazy. It was like several hours. Like I don't remember, but anyways, so there was like Shabzi and then also Sani's husband, and I'm sorry that I don't remember his name.
Paul
and then
Daly.
Paul Daly. Thank you so much. But yeah, so there was like several sets that it just kept building onto one another. And then from there, like we went into another trip. It just didn't stop, So that was a magical time. So there was, it's very clear why from that like grew out of these monthly convergences. We like took a month off and we let it like gestate a little bit, and we started revisiting the archive and all the different invocations that were shared and just like really like tapping into the energy of what it wanted to be. And we came to these Critical Mass convergences. And the idea with these is that we're really wanting to invite guests from other communities like ours to do this weaving that we're talking about. So since then, we've had several of these monthly convergences. I guess we started those back up in March, if I'm correct. And so see these beautiful faces. Sabrina is from Paul's community, the Veraverse. They're great friends of mine. And so I was happy to have her on this past for Critical Mass. Maureen is someone that I just met by chance at another online event like this, Regen World. So, like these Critical Mass events are also inspiring me to go out into the world and find these people to be our guests. But also you guys can be inviting your friends and neighbors and teachers to be guests for these. And so with having a few of those under our belt, it's become clear that that's definitely a pathway for sponsorship for us. We see just like so much value in bringing people together with these rhythms and this platform that we've created, that we've shared with so many hundreds, if not thousands of creators around the world. And we just want to expand that, so through that, we're opening up to sponsorship as well. And I think that's really what gave rise to this fundraiser being so co-creative and participatory too. It's just the more and more we do this, the more and more we have a felt sense of reciprocity and what that looks like. And we've always practiced this sense of like co-opetition on the train. Like everybody is just competing with themselves. It's all gamified and we're all getting better together all the time. And so like, how can we scale that, right? So from critical mass, then now we're moving into gathering momentum. And I just love those metaphors that play with one another and how they feel just like, so yeah. The Airtable is so incredible. This is one of my favorite things. And guys, this is totally still available. If you haven't linked your train car, so to speak, to this new train here, we've got the Vision Train Drawing Project, which we might touch on a little bit tonight. But this critical mass Airtable has a really cool way of like just mapping the collective. And so if you want to link your car there, it's a great place to find collaborators and strike up a conversation and, just, find people that speak to you. So we're really excited to have that too.
Yeah, so cool. And it's all building momentum, quite literally. So this critical mass journey, what does it look like when we come together and create in the same synchronized sonic space? Like that's really what I see as this critical mass experiment, this co-creating all at once. And there've been a lot of like mass meditation experiments, going on where people are also, Earth Dance is one of those projects as well. But something happens there when we tune in together in the same time with the same sonic space. I feel in my own creative practice, like I get like more energy, or like I'm like everybody's support, everybody's attention is tapped and open into something that resources all of us even more. It feels generative. It feels celebratory. It feels like important and special and something we should be doing. It's collective prayer in a lot of ways. So, critical mass and fundraising. So the 6-week journey, fundraising as creative practice. We're really, just as Ali had shared, we're rather than simply asking people to support the Vision Train, we're inviting participants to become beacons within their own communities, hosting gatherings, sparking conversations, nurturing relationships, and discovering creative ways of gathering momentum wherever they already are. So we're interested in how this can spark, how can we collectively as this like, at this watering hole, the space station of the Global Art Jam, be a place to help nourish you, to help nourish your communities, where you are. So it's like this exchange. And that to me feels really generative and exciting. And I know that there are people out there that have the capacity in the funding environment, right? There are others that have capacity in the presence. There are others that have capacity in their voice, to be contributing to this. But ultimately, it takes all of us finding what our voice and what our contribution is. And it can be many different ways too. So we're looking at week 1, we're focusing on gathering momentum. What are we building together? So we're going to jump into a little conversation about that in a bit. And week 2 is money and value. What do we value and how do we resource it? Week 3, reciprocity and exchange. How does support circulate? Week 4, creative livelihoods. How do we sustain meaningful work? Week 5, collaboration and emergence. What becomes possible together? And week 6, celebration and harvest. What wants to continue? So as you can see, we are curious. We're interested to see what is going to come through this period by asking these questions and opening up this field. So all the conductors also that are hosting regular trips, there's a whole crew of them. If you guys haven't checked out, I'll jump over here to our trip schedule real quick on our mighty network. This is the Vision Train station. You'll see today, this is our trip right now, and this is showing in my time zone. But there is all kinds of stuff that is scheduled. These are like scheduled trips, and you'll find all the info within them. Tomorrow, Rev Paul hosts the Dude Forge. So all you dudes out there, welcome to check that out. And so we're considering all our also like weekly kind of, repeat, the trips that are on repeat. Also curious how the conductors will bring in some of these themes into the trips. And we're so curious what is going to come through these collective inquiry. And so on Fridays, we're going to be hosting, different speakers and conversations and themes. So anybody out there that has somebody they want to bring in, we would love to hear from you. There is a participation form, right, that I know maybe you could drop in the chat, Allie. It's also available. Here it is. Look, here's the link right here. Isn't it so wonderful when you you ask and it's just right there? So it's a Google form, but this is a great way for us to organize what people want to contribute. And you don't already have to be a conductor yet, but we would love to support you in becoming a conductor if you'd like to as well. So let me see, gotta get back out of here. I do want to give a shout out already to our, if we click on here to this donate, we're going to go over to the Mighty Cause is the platform that's supporting us, because we are sponsored, fiscally sponsored. Vision Train is not its own nonprofit yet, but we are fiscally sponsored by the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. Thank you, Allison Gray and Alex Gray and Johnny and the whole crew that keeps COSM rolling, and for supporting the Vision Train in this way. And I just want to give a shout out already in just the few hours that we've had this launched. We're pushing 1,000 here already. And thank you to Dr. James, who gave a significant donation, and he did last year too, and has been a consistent sponsor and supporter of the Vision Train. And I did just invite him to have a conversation during this next 6 weeks, and we're going to find the right date to do that. James is a great supporter of the arts and is a psychedelic doctor working in the fields of responsible ketamine therapy in his clinics in Arizona. And so I think this is a valuable thing to jump in and have a conversation about. So, art and healing, and also, different ways that we can find support in that healing. So you'll find on this page some of the same stuff that you'll find also on our page. And this is a shout out to some of the crew. Saki and Jeffrey are here with us now, and we did a collaboration drawing. And there's Ben and Nina just a few weeks ago, and it was so sweet to be together. So, the value of coming together in person, we get to share here on the space station if we have an internet connection and a device. But there's so many crew members that are meeting in person around the world, and we've made lifelong friends. And this photo too is from Fly Ranch. We did the Vision Train drawing project and did a little workshop that was so inspiring over the summer solstice. And it was so encouraging to hear everybody's stories about what they see in their train cars. And the kids, there's 3 of them right here, they stole the show. They hijacked the train. And I was like, yes, this is what's supposed to happen. Right? We want the children on the front. And so, yes, you will can explore here. Please share this. This is a little testimonial from Kyra here on her daily visions, which are so inspiring, which is a whole project that the Vision Train is continuing to nurture. And let's see, if I can get back. So also becoming a member of the Vision Train means that you can, give a monthly donation or annual, and that helps sustain the train. I think we have around 71 members right now that are, in different tiers. So thank you, everybody that does continue to help sustain the train in that way. You can sponsor and you can share, and you can also take a workshop. I'll share a little bit about that in a minute, and you can come to the shop. So we have some really cool t-shirts and all these different designs, really beautiful organic cotton. This is Marina Zion Rebels design. This is a design that I did from a few years ago. But we have so many cool things in the shop and a lot more coming. So this is another way you can support. And all proceeds from the shop and from workshops and from memberships and donations, we're all going to be funneling into this 33,333. So however you are feeling inspired. And how to ride the Global Art Jam. Come bring your presence. So curious about what you're up to in the world. And yes, all donations are tax deductible when you go through the Mighty Cause platform. So if you donate directly here, this platform will give you an instant receipt that you can use as a tax deductible write-off in the US. So I think we're about through for now. I've been talking a lot. Shall we get into a little bit of, what is alive here in the group here? What is,
Yeah, it's been the best day ever, just like starting to get the feedback trickling in because, we've been really crafting this for a solid month. And before that, we already had the idea planted. So I'm really excited to, get more feedback from people. And then also just planting the seed of the first question for the week. Like, what are we building together? What are you specifically bringing to this first week? What is coming alive, like Amanda said, for you personally, but also on the collective level? And we can play with that. I'd love to hear that.
well, should I start?
Yes. Yes.
I feel like, I have a couple announcements. And it's kind of like, what are we building together? So I'm launching an auction tomorrow of about 30 of my works. Some of them are random sketches. Some of them are little paintings, older things, newer things, a whole mixed bag, some artist proofs of some some prints, etc. But I was asking myself, is this just a silly time to do this? And then I was like, no, the more there is, the more there is. Shout out to Lisette. And I am very interested I'm going to be donating half of all of the proceeds from this auction to the Vision Train fundraiser. And this feels very, it's what's happened. I'm in a phase of my life right now where most things feel like a gift. I think it always has been, but it's more and more and more like I realize that the more I am in this space of the gift, that also the gift comes back and is helping to support me. So to get into that space of feeling like supported and not depleted, it's a fine balance, because we also need to find the balance between our personal lives and then how we're also contributing to the collective. Because we can't actually really support the collective if we personally are not resourced. So finding that balance is something that I'm very interested in, and I'm I feel that this auction is going to be a really interesting thing. I'm going to do a lot of storytelling about the pieces that I'm going to be releasing during the next week. And then also this workshop that I just launched, Embodied Vision, is going to be another 1-day full workshop that's going to be August 8th. And so that's another way to participate. So yeah, what's the question again?
What are we building together? I think you definitely nailed it.
What are we building together? So, and what are we building together? I'm very curious about what is going to happen when we create more platforms. This is a platform, but more ways to really connect our values, like our value, our resources, like what we have to give. Like, what do I have to share? To really consider that, like from a resourced place of like, what do I have to give? And sometimes it's just my presence. Sometimes it's just an ear. But I'm really curious to see how we're going to continue to link with those that are already within the field, that have heard the whistle, and then that are adjacent. I'm very interested in that because, and I just want to let you all know, 'cause some of you have already heard me talk about this, there is a very real train coming. And that real train is something that I see as very symbolic, that's going to help us go back on the tracks on this journey of regeneration and reconciliation and remembrance as a symbolic gesture that leaves a trace of awesome. I see it as a very real thing. And so we need to start with where we are at, and building our networks and being responsible humans. Yeah, being people that can others can rely on too. I think is really important. So let's build that training platform here more and more. Let's work it out. Let's share. Let's speak it out. Our intentions. So my invitation to all of you now, what are you building? What are you sharing? And let's not compare what we're doing, because every little bit matters.
Yeah, and I think we definitely have time to hear like some people if they want to, actually speak to that. And, it'd be nice to hear from some folks here. Or again, if there's any questions, I know we just threw like a ton of information and inspiration at you guys. So yeah, opening it up and also in the chat, just being that we had planned to start the jam at the top of the hour. We may or may not. I guess that's up to us. But so be sharing, yeah, in response to what are you building in the chat. You guys are free to respond there. And then if there's anyone that wants to speak with their voice into the circle, who's going to be the brave one to follow all of that? You can raise your hand and we could probably find you.
Okay,
Oh,
I'm just
cool.
gonna get
Yay.
into it. Like I'm getting quite tired and I'm ready to go to bed. But I'll just I'll harp up and I'll speak some piece. Yeah, it's taking an interesting direction. Like I think the vision train is a really good place if you've got something that you want to develop within yourself, and other people will get that energy and it will help them to develop. So it is that reciprocal kind of energy that Amanda was discussing earlier. Me personally, at the moment, I'm trying to bring sort of, I guess, like a the understanding of the physical body, Proteus, human expression through the physical form, through dance and movement. It's a really fascinating study. It's what we all study through different mediums. And different mediums are just different kinds of energy, just different kinds of vibrations. And in a way, the mediums themselves are metaphors for this thing that's at the center, this living thing, and what's happening around it, even though there's entropy, even though there's death, there's a life in that. We are an expression of this fundamental living energy and we're all our own expression of it. It's a fantastic platform. I'm learning again. I feel like I'm studying in order to create a better experience for other people. But I'm having an amazing experience studying at the same time, you know? It really is like you put in a finger, God will put in a whole hand. Love you guys. You take it easy.
Choo choo. Thank you so much, Scott.
Cheers to that. Yeah.
Sweet dreams over there in Scotland.
Sweet, sweet dreams.
So we got Kyra. It's got her hand up. Kyra, we're going to bring you up here. What are you building?
Hey, I am actually currently working on my trips to post for the next, 7 weeks? So they're in the theme of each week. So I had just posted the gathering momentum and how in my weekly trips for the Daily Visions deep dive, how we can gather momentum making art every day. And especially during these months when even I've experienced falling out of this practice, how can I just keep the creative art flowing? And luckily I have been making art every day, but not on my daily vision squares that I cut out for the whole year. But it's still a good thing. So from all the art that I've been making, I'm also working on releasing my daily visions, the originals. And then I have been traveling for the past 8 months now. And I shipped my daily visions to my mom, who's in the US, so she could help me ship them around the world or wherever they need to go. And in that process, I realized that I wanted to make a book out of all of them together. I really like the story of just like flipping through them all in order and just like remembering where I was. So I'm working on the back end of all of that, which is not really my preferred medium of art making, but it's definitely necessary for this journey to continue. So I also have other paintings I'm so excited to work on, but it's like I need to take a step back and focus somewhere else that needs more attention. So
It's such a valuable practice to go through and really document. And it's a part of the whole thing, the whole practice, you know? It'll support you in many years to come. And I highly recommend the documentation and organization. I did that for the first year when I did 2023 Daily Visions and did 365 paintings. And it was so much work, but it was also really wonderful to be able to share that work with so many people. And so, like, instead of just putting all the energy into one painting, having them in so many different paintings that can then live in different places, there's an energetic kind of imprint and that you can share with everyone that wants to support you and enjoys your work. So thanks. Thanks for carrying the torch forward with this project, because I think it's an intense commitment.
yeah, I've totally felt that. And I think with this like project that has no themes or no rules, but you create all these rules that's like you don't really need to have so much pressure on yourself to make something amazing every single day or what you consider amazing. So like I saw in your practice that you had turned it really simple and doing symbols and other people doing their own things, and that's best for their own practice. Um, yeah, I feel like I had something else, but I don't remember.
That's great. Well, look forward to seeing all the trips that are coming up, Kyra. Choo choo.
Choo-choo.
Yay. And we got Nina. Nina, what are you building?
Hi. I was just thinking when you guys were talking about your daily visions and spreading that out, it's just like dispersing seeds. And part of my passion is creating this weaving with local communities. And I feel that a lot of people are feeling this way about Burning Man and festivals in general, that we need to take this concentrated love and energy that we have from the inspiration and passion from those great gatherings and build resilience, yes, to bring them into our communities and remember that creation is the most powerful energy. And with that comes responsibility as we stewardship our environment. Is there something you want to say hi? Yeah. I was just getting an opportunity to talk about what are we building on the train? What are you building? I don't know. Building good humans that have interdependence and thoughtfulness for their environment, and not only using water to bless, but then to bless the water by stewarding and protecting it. And that needs to be true in all aspects of our environment. So I think that this space is a great think tank for combining those spiritual ideas with ways that we can connect and store the earth. Rosie, hi, I love you. Mom.
Hi, thanks. Amanda, you're muted.
Oh, Rosie. Well, thank you, Nina. I wanted to, and Taryn, appreciate you both and all of you. Rosie, do you want to come share?
What are we sharing? How much we love the
What?
train or what?
Yeah, definitely. Like, what are you building is the question, but what are you building like in your world that is, connecting, yeah, towards a world that we know can work for all, or that we hope can work for all. But what are you building? What is your contribution?
All
Like
right.
right now, in your community and your life and your,
I think about that a lot because I didn't know that's what was the topic, but um, I've always wanted these action people and signs about the water and stop the war and being the old hippie that I am. And then at this age, I don't know. I've just gotten like, yeah, like, oh, do I want to go to this march or this festival? I said, I don't know, but I am. So how can I help? So, I know it's an old expression. You've all heard it about, think globally and act locally. And, I'm doing really well with eating consciously, not wasting water, not ever using disposable things, really being conscious about that, about the kind of clothes I wear, not going crazy buying new stuff, wearing cotton things, and trying to stick to industries that aren't harmful. Um, and, you know, art supplies, like sometimes it gets to me because I know they're expensive and I always feel kind of weird about like, oh my God, I wasted that paper, but I didn't waste it for myself because I got something out of it. And maybe somebody will buy it and love it and enjoy every moment having it on their home. But I do think about how could I be more conscious about um those luxuries like art supplies and pads of paper and all those goodies to me are like being in a toy store. Um, I'm eating really consciously too, trying to grow as much as I can my own, not ever eating any fast food anymore unless I'm really starving on the road and that kind of thing. And also working very hard about I'm a work in progress, I admit it, but about really loving unconditionally, loving it all, including myself and, including, like, I walk in the park every day and I make sure to say hello to every person I pass. And I've gotten really great friends in the park, believe it or not, just from seeing them walking around. But there are some people who will not look at me, who will, when I say, hey, good morning, or have a great day, um, they just give it this cold stare, walk away. And there's a part of me that wants to just say fuck you, but then I say that's not going to change anything. So I've been sending them the Ho'oponopono thing, like whatever I did, whatever, forgive me, I'm sorry, I love you, thank you. And not anyway, trying not to be negative. Like on the road, I drive a lot, and like trying not to be negative when somebody is really horrible on the road. And Amanda's mom once shared a little small book with me and talked to me about not saying anything negative for a full week. And that's a really great thing that I may not be working globally, but if you could just do that for a full week, you may have actually sent out a wave of love that people might receive. And you know what? I'm embarrassed to admit that I couldn't do it for a whole week. It's like I live in a kind of out of the city, a suburb of New York City and Long Island, and like people drive, they go through stop signs, and I can't help but say, "Ow, a-hole," that kind of thing. It's really hard, but I'm working on it. I'm truly working on unconditional love. And I have so many friends and so many people love me. I'm so lucky about that. But there's always this one person that doesn't. Those are the ones that get to you. Julie, you're laughing because there's a person that doesn't love me. And you know what? I gotta let it go and send love anyway. Anyway, did I talk too much? Did I hit the mark? I don't even.
You're great, Rosie. And I think your reflections also are just a great reminder that it's like it's a daily practice. And like, what are we building? With that question, where are we going? What do we want to leave behind? What is the residue, or what is, in the space where we were, where when we leave that space, what is left? And how do people, may we be a blessing, maybe, right?
Yes, may my memory be a blessing for people when I pass. That's what the Jewish people say. They say, may your memory be a blessing. And may that be for all of us. May when we're not around, may someone think of us and say, she was very kind to me. I didn't know anybody there. And she said, "Oh, come on, sit with us." And I was that kind of person. And I hope that's what helped me get through the gates and that kind of thing. Hi, Julie.
What are we
Hello.
building? We are blessings, that we be greater blessings. Hi, Julie.
Oh, wait,
What are you
just like
building?
say one thing before Julie starts.
Hey.
It's that Amanda, of the train, this this global gathering that you have created is such a blessing to me. I met so many great people. I have so many dear friends that I would, give my life for, like on this train that that's some I've got to meet in person, some I never met in person. I just want, I have so many people I love on this platform. So thank you, Amanda, for making this, me have friends all over the world. Okay, take it away, Julie.
Mwah, mwah.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And it's one of those things that I think what I really love about the Vision Train is it gives you, when you have an intention, you then put in effort because you have a platform to practice with other people, and that turns into a practice altogether. And that's something that we fall out of, and it's kind of like a resolution type situation. But when you know that you can hop back on, like I haven't been on for a while, but I hop on, I see friendly, familiar faces, it's a comfortable environment, and it just brings me back. So it's really cool to be able to develop a practice with intention and some sort of like like it calls when they do the blessings and declarations, and it's kind of like you get that opportunity on a daily basis with a community that is supporting you. So it's really appreciated in all of the videos that are archived in the members area. It's just such valuable information and so much energy people are gifting in that form. And
it's kind of like looking back at photos of friends because it also brings you back to a moment. Like if I was in that workshop and I rewatch it, it's like, oh gosh, that was such a fun day. So it's a little bit of everything that I really value. So thank you.
Oh, thanks. And I'd love also that we have communities that overlap. And I hope that that can be something that the train can help facilitate, is help people find each other and also find other communities that are nourishing to them, and that people that feel like they're called to steward community in different ways can also find others to help steward and resource. And so I just shout out to the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors and the COSM community. I know that you're such a big like supporter and member, going to a lot of the full moons like Rosie, and I always look forward to the fall in October when I usually come out there. But there's a lot of overlap, and hopefully a lot of like support that's interchanging, and we're fueling and nourishing each other's communities, and
Absolutely.
right.
It was so fun to see everybody when you guys came up. So that just like, it's so great when everyone gets to meet up.
Yeah, so much.
And Julie, you have become such a dear friend to me, and I'm so grateful. And just from taking a class with me in the beginning, and it all started. And she's one of the most, people haven't met Julie. She's one of the most giving people I know in so many ways. I mean, supporting people through their art, like buying people's art, but also sharing, her caring and her eggs and her honey. And she's a wonderful person. So if you don't know her, get to know her.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
Cool. Well, thanks, Julie. Appreciate your share. Who else here? Anybody else want to share what they're up to, what they're building? They want to bring their voice into the field. Yeah, Travis. Cool.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I just felt like I'm just feeling the synchronicity. I just signed up to join the train like a few hours ago. Yeah, and this is the first thing that I'm doing, and it just feels so welcoming and nice. Yeah. I was looking into, I guess what I'm building is myself, trying to focus more on like creativity and creating what I want to create and how I want to create and when I want to create, and not doing it for an algorithm. And I started looking into like retreats and how to like build myself up. And then I saw your retreat that's coming up in the fall in Cosm. And then if you look into Amanda Sage, you'll find the train real quick. And I was here for the 6-year anniversary, and it was amazing. And yeah, I saw that the art jam was today, and I was like, just signed up. And yeah, I'm definitely seeking and looking for community, and I think it's yeah, I'm just excited to be here. So more to share, but plenty of time to do it. So
And exciting to see those paintings that you're working on back there. Is that for a specific
thanks.
project?
Nope. Yeah, just something I've started doing is just like doing designs. Like this one just started as like a drawing. And then so I just wanted to start working with wood and like cutting out designs and painting them. I did like a autumn sky tutorial with this one, which is like the process was, working in value colors and then glazing over it. So, but the process is so slow, I needed something faster. So, typical
Yeah.
artist, multiple unfinished projects, but yeah, feels good.
Yeah, but it's all about the experiment and then seeing what works. One of the things that I always am reminded of, and I like to remind others, the answer to painting is painting. And that's what, or whatever you're doing, right? The answer so often is doing it. And so this is one of those places, the Vision Train, to come do it. It's an accountability forum. And so Travis, nice to meet you. Would love
Yeah,
to
nice
see
to meet
you
you.
in October, and in general, we can just hang out here.
Yep, I'll be around.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yay, cool. Anybody else want to share? Jump up in here, share some. What's up, Chantel? Chantel, early morning.
Yes. Oh my God, what perfect timing. From these trips that we have at this time is like I just jump up out of the dream time, and go, oh yeah, that's right. Like get on before I even have my morning coffee. And so I jump on and at this incredible time of like from my dream that I had. And I wanted to share quickly my dream because I think it all is synchronistically connected. And in the dream, I was speaking to one of my mentors that's taught me Kahuna massage, Lomi Lomi. And I was telling her how I needed to know and learn a new form of massage because I didn't have a table anymore. I have a table, but I don't have a space for the table. And we're sitting in a sauna and she's writing on this jacket. So I wake up from that dream into the next dream that I'm reading the jacket, and the jacket says, massage through your paint. And I was like, fuck, how am I going to do that? And then I jump on the train and it's like, how are we gathering the momentum? It's like, well, we're gathering it through painting, and I don't know how it's all going to come together, or what is the outcome. And then you sit. I've sort of come on to that 6-week thing, and it's like, what the hell? Like, this is freaking awesome. That the seed that was planted in my dream is like got this 6-week evolution. So that's really freaking cool. What I've been thinking about too is how do I bridge it all together, and how do I continue to be at home but also make money, because I need to make money to build accommodation and to build other things here to have bigger community involvement here. So that's my kind of thing, is like, how do I be of service but also get some substantial income back to then put back into the community and grow it bigger. And the other aspect for me that I'm sitting with so nervously is wanting to bring a trip to the train around death. And I think about the early days with Lizette and the Death Cafe, and and that just freaks me out, because it's like, oh God, this whole competition and or not even comparing. But there is a big thing in my life right now of actually looking at death and facing death. Not me personally, but my dad and my other mentor, father figure, and I really want to have that conversation around how we can shift out of the conditioned belief around it. I'm every time I go on to go, yep, I'm going to have a trip, this is what I'm going to do, I freak out and stop. So I'm putting it out there for everybody to hear now and hold me accountable, or I'm going to hold myself accountable, that I'm going to start that trip. And yeah. So that's me, and I love you all so much, and I love the vibe, and I love this community, and I just wish that there was a massive friggin' bridge that I could just drive over to the States and hug you all and hang out.
Yeah. Oh, Chantel, all the way in Australia, down under. I find that so interesting that you bring that up about having a trip, reviving a trip around death. And I think that is, I've been thinking of it more too recently. And was remembering actually this morning, Marley Finnegan, I think is her name. She hosted a really special thing with Ali on during the 6-week anniversary, and I'm just like, yeah, curious about the death doulas and circling them up, you know, and having a wisdom circle that and a resource space that the train can hold would be so valuable.
I'm actually listening to a book called Die Wise, which has been a beautiful listen. So maybe I'll just start with that. I'll just start a trip and we listen to the Die Wise and have a chat around all the different concepts of seeing the death trade, and you know, go and start there, perhaps.
Yeah. Deep dives.
Yeah.
Yay. Thanks, Chantal. Good to see you. All right, crew. Who else wants to share a voice in here? And totally cool. If the chat has been popping here, I know we're still live streaming. So what's going out into the world, you know, these are just little nuggets of inspiration. And I feel like a lot of affirmations and like, you know, it's just like speaking it into the wind is a valuable thing. Like, what are you calling in the world? And I just want to say shout out to you, Charlotte. So good to see you, Squib. And Josephine is raised her hand. Okay, so I'll give Josephine, and then Charlotte will pull you up here.
Hi everyone. I've been a bit quiet recently, but I have still been going to a lot of the sessions on Tuesday with the works in progress. So that's been my kind of thing that's kept me going through some ups and downs and some quite difficult times. So I've been applying for lots of jobs and having quite a lot of financial things. It's been a bit rubbish, but the train has really kept me going, even if it's been less than I would like to be on there. Yeah, so I'm still thinking about my connection to nature and to how to. I was actually going to do this kind of nature walk with a local green councillor, and suddenly I had a bad migraine, so I had to pull out. But there might be another collaboration with us two at another time, taking a walk through the wetlands and up to the woods and around and doing some sketching and some stuff to do with, like, you know, the natural area and so on. So that's one of my sort of ideas. Yeah, I've still been sort of painting away. It's really bugging me, this picture, but I'm going to beat it. I'm going to finish it one of these days. I just keep ploughing on. And then I've been going to the beach because you can get on a train from where I live in about an hour. You can be in Brighton at the coast, and it's one of those pebble beaches. And I've been looking for hagstones, and hagstones are, for people that don't know, they're like stones with natural holes in them, and they're supposed to ward off evil and be a protection thing. And I just like all these stories and legends. So just because I really can't paint today because it's driving me mad, I'm literally just sitting here doodling and painting on my hagstones. And I managed to find about 26 of them. So I'm hoping I'm going to ward off all the evil that might be around. But, you know, I'm just playing and just considering nature and seeing what's going to unfold and being a bit excited about the fact that Cosm is getting nearer. And also I'm quite scared, and I'm like, ah! But, you know, it's a good scared, and hopefully by then I will have settled down a bit, and, you know, it's all going to be good. It's going to be great. And I just hope that I'll be able to do myself proud when I'm there. And yeah, I hope I've got out of my painting block by then. Yeah.
Oh, Joe, I just want to give you a big hug right now, and I'm so happy that I'm going to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. And yeah, I hope that I'm going to meet some of the rest of you. And some other new friends that are yet to be discovered. So it's all very cool. Yeah.
Oh, well, let's catch up. I would love to support you if I can and get through whatever little blocks. But it happens. It happens to the best of us, and it's such a strange thing, right? It's like it's awful to go through the artist block kind of feeling, but then remember, there's something decomposing. There's
Yeah,
something decomposing to give birth to something else, and
I
it's a
think so.
process.
Yeah, I think so. And it's all fine, you know. It's like, you know, it's nothing that deep as well, because
But it
at the
still
end of the
sucks.
day, you know, it will come back. You know, I'll be fine. And yeah, and hopefully, I did have some really nice cards of gratitude from some students that left this school year. So that was really encouraging. So and I've been telling loads of people about the Vision Train. So I'm still spreading the word, you know. Yeah. And I did see Cyan Blue. I know she hasn't been on here for a while, but I did actually see her in person, so that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, all the little light nodes. That's us out there. Yay. Thanks, Joe. Good to see you.
Me too.
I'm gonna bring Charlotte up here. What's up, Charlotte?
Unmute, Charlotte, on the bottom left.
I'm so useless. I should be good with technology, but sometimes it just bamboozles me. But no, I just want to come on and say hello. And yeah, I've been off the train for a bit.
Yeah.
But being honest, you guys you're always in my mind, like thinking of you guys. And same as before, sort of, I'm still struggling a bit, had a bit of hardship myself. But, you know, I've found that painting's really been good for me expressing myself and like feeling better about myself. And having the vision train, it's like a motivator, but also comfort, because you guys I know are there, and I'm like, oh, it's been so long. But then I'm like, right, okay, I'm gonna get back on. Don't be frightened. Don't be like, oh, they're not gonna want to talk to you because you haven't talked to them for a while. And you were always so open and wonderful, which is, you know, honestly, I feel it. And when you were doing the 6 year the other day, my family's quite elderly, and I was called away. I couldn't come on, but I was just literally just like in my heart, like, oh, you know, sending out love to you guys while I knew you all online together. Anyway, um, so my painting's been pretty weird. Like Amanda, one thing I wanted to tell you about was when the last time you did a project that I could watch, you spoke of a poem that that Edward Fuchs had basically told you, and like you said about imagining a picture while you spoke of this poem. And I did. And scarily, the next image was one of Edward Fuchs' paintings. And my sketch basically had the same composition and positioning, but I had like a Buddha face, but then things like castles and trees were in different spots, but in the same shapes, and it wigged me out. But I thought, no, I need to follow that, because I heard about how we're all interconnected. So it's like, no, maybe I'm feeling that from you. I'm actually like taking it. So the painting behind me is like it's like I'm it's like the dark versions of myself and the way I'm sort of feeling in the world at the moment. And this itself, it's like I've got, so like here you got the moon, and then up here you've got another dimension with like castles and things of another place in time. And as it comes down, there's me in the middle, sort of melding into the mountains and the trees. But then I'm like entwined in snakes. And I'm sitting on this like emerald seat that's sort of morphed. But then same with the different dimensions, but I'm like getting really into like let's show this. Okay. Like the 3D sort of style. I'm trashing the place, it's hilarious. But the mad thing is that that tunnel is actually mirrored up here. You can't quite see it. But anyway. So I've been enjoying expressing myself. And I keep looking at it and seeing more. But I've been using your Miche technique, but then also using ultraviolet paint and mixing that with acrylics. So this in UV goes crazy. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that you guys sort of keep me going and make me believe in doing what's coming out of me instead of worrying that it's not a dog or and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like I show some people and I think they think I'm really strange. But I have comfort that you guys are like, no, it's an expression, it is art, it is freedom, it is your soul. So I just want to say that you're very special to me and thank you.
Oh, that means so much, and to have you show up too after, we've been rocking on this train space station for like 6 years, and to have,
Yeah.
and to know that there's, we're out there and that there is a community that's like you're okay. It's okay to allow yourself to express.
Yeah, because I don't know if it's just the UK and that sort of thing, but a lot of people are quite stilted. So, expressing yourself in that way, it's not always, I don't know, it doesn't always feel like it's accepted, just having the expressions of yourself come out. So, but I've got quite a few paintings of sketches I've got to get on with.
Well, here's an accountability station, and
Yeah.
it's a part of, not everyone's nature is that to express, in a visual way or in a musical way but I do think we're going towards, and I've been hearing this through the field, we're going more and more towards a world where purpose, the question of purpose, and then also what we're actively doing is going to become more of a thing that many more people are going to ask, because as AI and technology, takes care of a certain kind of busy work, there's going to be more of a question of like, so what are we really doing here? And who are we? What's going on?
Yeah, do you want authenticity or do you want something that's made authentic for you? And also, it's going to give you everything that you want, but the human inaccuracies that make it real, well, real in this universe. Yeah, I'll use AI to a point, but I don't want it to control me, certainly not, and I don't want it to speak for me either.
Right.
I think
Well, however it's going to continue to unfold, it's here. and
yeah, we have
how
to flow with it, definitely. But
right.
yeah,
How we engage in it. And this is a platform to come and, converse and get updates and then just to let's dig in. We're going to jump into an art jam here and go into this integration. So thanks, Charlotte. Good to see you.
thank you very much. I don't know if I'll mute myself.
Yay, crew. Well, how you feeling? Time to move into art jam time. This is one of the things we do on the train. Anybody else feel like they want to share? Jeffrey, you want to share anything? Are you in the midst of a... He's like, oh gosh. No, she's going to poke me.
I'm
Um,
working away, but yeah, I mean, you know, mirroring everything that's being said. I love you guys so much. And yeah, I'm here in a conference room, art jamming.
nice.
Saki's office, you know. I love having different environments to work on art. It helps, like, you know, stir the pot a little bit, get some different thought processes going. But yeah, just still feeling a lot of love from being down there in Gunnison and hanging out with y'all, and you know, just been kind of bringing everything full circle from that moment. And yeah, excited for the ride to come. And um, yeah, you know, like Chantel's dream kind of reminded me, I've been having some kind of crazy train dreams lately. Had one where I like went back in time to like the 1800s or something, and someone was talking at the train station, and they're like, yeah, there's a way to go forward into the future, and you can yeah, you just have to really like get on the right train. It was a wild dream, and you know, it was like it started at the Gunnison Art Center, and then I went back in time somehow from there, and then I was like, I gotta get back to, I have to come back to the future. Yeah. So, you know, it's interesting how we all are like, you know, some of us have never met, but it's like we're all still in this like bubble of vision that you know, it's like we're all kind of building this thing together. The train station might be in different locations, but they're all simultaneously kind of rising up to connect. And yeah, love all the shares. And I think that's all I got. I'm just working away over here. I've got some designs I'm stirring up myself. Um, but love you guys so much.
Oh, thanks, Jeffrey, and thanks for holding down Works in Progress. That's been one of the longest running trips on the train, you and Molly. And, you know, it's a place, I think it's on Tuesdays, right?
Yep, yep.
It's a
At
space to
2 p.m. Mountain Time.
2 p.m. Mountain Time. Yeah, it's a space to go and share anything that's in progress, and, you know, have a crew reflect on it, you know. I think it's one of the values of the space, you know, it's a training ground, so helping each other out. And I think that's so interesting. It's like, don't get on the wrong train. And so considering that too, like with the choices that we're making in our lives, you know, as much as we can like get lost in visions, in ideas of the future or the past, you know, I'm feeling more and more the responsibility for the present and how we face that, you know. That reminds me of Rosie's share too. And it's like the daily life, as much as we can like put out there who we'd like to become. And you'll see a lot of images of like solar punk, you know, if you guys look up solar punk, there's a lot of images and descriptions of, you know, this world that is possible. And I think that's important, you know, to imagine a world that works for all. And at the same time, remember that it's not this like the future where there's no challenge, and there's no contrast. That seems to be something that is consistent. And that has to do with our daily lives, our choice. What are we choosing? You know, and sometimes allowing just things to be. So, I mean, to me, the artwork has become in my life, you know, I remember like, I'm not interested in just painting a pretty painting. I'm interested in something that opens up into something deeper. And this question of like, why and what is going on? You know, what is God?
Yeah.
It's big
What
stuff.
what is the piece gonna open up? By like what questions and what answers is it by opening that portal with that new idea? Like what does it want to unfold? Totally.
Well,
I've
and
been
I
getting
think
that
that's,
too.
I think we're coming up at a time more and more where I hope that more and more humans are going to ask themselves, what is the purpose of living? And not just being machines following the script, but more of like, what is it truly? And I feel like we're in training ground. Whoever comes to the space, it's like we are in training to help facilitate more people coming to that question, and to do it through art, I think is and to use art as a medium for that question to be asked. What is the purpose of even life, of being here? What the heck is going on? And then we dive into each other's art, and it's just the craziest thing. A transmission comes through, you hear somebody share a poem, and then something comes through, and it's like, how did that even look like that? How is this even possible? I mean, it's the mysterious, it's the magical. Do you like my shirt today?
Yeah.
Straight up.
No, I had a really crazy coincidence at Works in Progress a few weeks ago. I was painting, I had this landscape that was like, it'd been sitting for a year on my wall, and like I knew I wanted a river in there, and it was driving me nuts every time I looked at it. But like it took me so long to actually start painting the river. And then I started, and people start joining Works in Progress. There were 3 other people who were making rivers the same day. And it was like, wow, we're all over the world. We're flowing today. There's some like water that needs to wash away. It's a vibe.
Right.
But that's the interconnectedness. Like there is no coincidence. Coincidence is just synchronicity speaking up.
Right.
Speaking out. Yeah.
Right. And so, the signals of what are we building? I mean, this question, I'm just like repeating it over and over again, because it's like this question, it feels like what we're building is a platform and a space for that connection to happen collectively. And that's what we keep experiencing. And it's like, and it happens whether we're like physically, right now, everybody that's here right now is physically together, even though we're not physically in the same space, but we're in the same like psychic space, right?
Yeah.
But that happens to us when we're also not together. And so like right now, there's 15 of us here, but there's hundreds and thousands that ripple out from that we interface with, that are also connected into this whole web. So, as humanity is on this precipice of like really going through some big growing pains. I mean, maybe it's always been a thing, but I think we're living through a time right now that's going to change our world forever, technologically, right?
Totally.
And
death of the patriarchy.
there we go. And waking up to a wiser, maybe way of stewarding our presence and our participation on this planet.
Yes.
And how can art be a tool in this transition is what I'm so curious about. And I feel like that's what draws us together here. And there's so many nuggets within that is our job, I think, to show up for, and to not give up on, and so therefore community is really supportive, so as we take those ebb and flows, and to be able to keep it consistent, to keep this platform operating. And so, yeah, shout out to everybody that does keep this going. I know, like here, I'm kind of like running the the show a little bit today, but we would not still be here if it weren't for like so many crew members and like all the conductors that consistently keep showing up and the engineers and like of all like the energy that is put in to make this happen, it's beyond. And it can only happen, I mean, we're not at like a church, but it's kind of like a church in that sense, because it can only happen through like passion and volunteers and a belief in, it's a third space. So, and to speak of churches, churches traditionally are like one of the places that we come to gather and like get reconnected, right? And connect with community, reconnected with spirit. And so that so many churches are not as active as they were because no people aren't going to them. So where are the places to go and get connected? And festivals and, there's yoga classes, sound baths, dance parties. We do all of that on the train too.
Yeah, but this is devotion and faith in the vision.
Right.
And faith that these visions that come through to us do have meaning and that they are powerful and that they're important. And it's not, we don't just leave it as a sketch and call it a day. We see it through.
Yeah. We see it through.
That's what we're all here for, is to help everyone keep that container of seeing it through, seeing it to the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you for the motivation. Thank you for the reminders, everyone. I really appreciate this, this opportunity to reconnect, and we're making this up. So, we're making up this goal of the 6-week fundraiser, and we're also making up all the themes that are in it. And so like, what's important to you? What do you feel like we need to be like talking about, facing, sharing? Let's make this a community affair. So Allie, thank you so much. I just want to shout out to you again. And Marina and Nina and Brittany wasn't here with us today, but Brittany's been doing so much on the back end. And yeah, crew, rock and roll. Thanks, Jeffrey. Oh, I cut you off on the choo-choo. Do it again.
Choo-choo.
There we go. All right, everyone. Yeah, we got this. So thanks, internet world, anybody that tunes into this later and feels inspired. It's about all of us. Keep showing up on this journey. So